I love Hunter Rangers, all because of their level 11 ability. Most of all, I'll go through all of the levels just to show you what they get nice and quickly. Generally, you want to pick either strength or dexterity to be your attacking stat to pick a particular type of attacking style. Favorite enemy, we got all of these. I go with Ranger Knight so that we can become proficient with heavy armor from level 1. So we're proficient with all weapons and armor in the beginning of the game. Natural Explorer, pick whatever you want again. Beast Tamer, it's always nice to have a familiar by your side. Anyway, to the level up process. At level 2, we start getting some spells. We got some nice spells, ritual spells, Enhanced Sleep, Long Strider, Speak with Animals, Hunter's Mark. Let's give ourselves that. And we get to pick a fighting style. I'm going to pick Archery to show off an easy type of Hunter Ranger that you can build. At level 3, we get our subclass, pick Hunter. Another spell, I don't know, let's pick that. Then we get to pick Hunter's Prey. A Horde Breaker can be okay at the earlier levels. Once we get to level 11, this basically becomes useless. I generally pick Colossus Slayer, so you deal an extra 1d8 damage if the target has already taken some damage. Giant Killer, if a large or bigger creature attacks you, you can use a reaction to make a melee attack. Well, I want a star in here, a Staragorn, to attack from range, to attack with a bow. So I don't think I would get much use out of Giant Killer. At some point, you do want to pick Sharpshooter to get a +10 to your damage roll, a -5 to your attack roll, but that honestly makes very little difference by the end. Another spell, pick Pass Without Trace, we get an extra attack at level 5. At level 6, we get to pick another one of these. Let's go with Keeper of the Veil so we can cast Protection from Evil and Good. And I don't know, what is this? Resistance to poison damage. At level 7, we can pick another spell, Spike Growth. Defense Tactics, opportunity attacks against you have disadvantage. Perhaps if he's going to be trying to stay at range, stay away from melee, that could be useful, or just move around. Steel Will, advantage on saving throws against being frightened, can be useful, comes up sometimes, but not very many battles. Generally, I would pick either Escape the Horde or multi-attack defense. When an enemy attacks you, they have -4 penalty to additional attack rolls. Towards the end of the game, some enemies do get several attacks. Another feat, I'm going to go with Athlete. I love the extra jump distance, and we get a +1 bonus to dexterity. Level 9, we get level 3 spells. Let's go with Plant Growth. I'm not interested in the spells for Hunter Ranger, if I'm honest. We get another Favored Enemy and another Natural Explorer at level 10. Sanctified Stalker, Proficiency in Religion and can cast Sacred Flame. He's never going to cast Sacred Flame. And resistance to fire damage, let's say. Also, we do get Hide in Plain Sight. Camouflage yourself to become invisible and gain a +10 bonus to stealth checks as long as you stand still. That's pretty useful. At level 11, we get another spell, Daylight. And then, actions here. This is what makes Hunter Rangers great, if I'm honest. We get both, not either, but both, Whirlwind Attack. Strike out to all nearby foes, making separate attack rolls against each target. So everyone within a certain range, you attack with your weapon. And you can do this twice every turn. And then, Volley. Same thing, but with your ranged weapon. I prefer Volley. I'll show you why later. And then at level 12, one more feat. I'm going to go for, I'm going to go for ability score improvement instead of a feat. Get dexterity up to 20, max it out. I have employed the fist to model for us again. I would say pretty much just 2 items are particularly good here. One is the Risky Ring. You gain advantage on attack rolls. That's always going to be amazing. Secondly, I like the Deadshot because not only do we get improved critical, with Keen Attack here, we negate most of the Sharpshooter penalty. The wielder doubles their proficiency bonus when rolling ranged attacks with this weapon, unless they have disadvantage. So we're getting an extra +4 to attack. -5 penalty from Sharpshooter pretty much becomes -1 penalty for +10 damage. Yes, please. But otherwise, equip your favorite ranged weapon, your favorite melee weapon. I've just gone for this trident here for now. I have prepared some others. The Sword of Baldur is always going to be great, isn't it, actually? I've also gone for some Flawed Helldusk gloves. I haven't got all the items in Act 3 yet, just to add an extra 1d4 fire damage, which will help out later. So I've got on the Helmet of Arcane Acuity. He's probably never going to cast any spells that require saving throws. The only one he's got really, he's got 2 Ensnaring Strike and Sacred Flame. He's not going to be using them. I've gone for the Caustic Bands to give an extra 2 damage. Let's just see this in action. I'm going to get someone else to start the combat.
Actions have consequences.
Now, with Astarian's armor, he's got the elegant studded leather armor. It's got a +2 bonus to initiative rolls with an extra +5 from his dexterity. +7 to initiative means he's almost always going first. Steel Watcher happens to go even earlier this turn, and he doesn't do anything on his turn. So, why is the Hunter Ranger so great? Let me quick save to show you a few things. So really, it's this volley. You can target, in this case, 4 enemies. What I probably should have done for the combat, could have cast Minor Illusion to gather them all up. In fact, why don't I try and get him to throw a Void Bulb? Ah, they saved mostly. Slight shame. But now I should be able to get 5, I reckon. Maybe not. Right. Black Hole would work very well as well. The Elithid Tap Hole ability. So let's go. And I get to hit 4 enemies at once. And I've got that plus 10 damage from Sharpshooter. I'm getting critical hits. And I've almost killed 3 fists in just 1 turn. And that's without using any consumables. One of my favorite... Let's make sure I've got the bow. One of my favorite oils or poisons to use for some time was Drow Poison. Why? Well, let's have a look. Oh, 2 of them put to sleep. And... oh, never mind. They passed their saving throws. Unfortunately, the Drow Poison won't work against them for 2 more turns. But it's a way to get enemies to sleep. And then, with sleeping enemies, you can come and... I don't know... do this.
Great headline.
I have done some research. There is a much better consumable if you want to do lots of damage instead. And that consumable is the Oil of Combustion. So oil covered targets immolate upon taking fire damage, dealing 3 to 18 fire damage to everyone and everything nearby. So the great thing here...
Outraged.
there it is, coated in Oil of Combustion. The first attack won't do so much. Do just normal damage, but they're now all covered in the oil. And then I might get hit by this myself. I can't remember the range. Essentially set off a chain reaction. If I'd had all of these grouped together, I would have killed all the fists there. Because all of them, so what happens is each of these 4 exploded for 3d6 fire damage, which then causes them, the other ones, to explode again. Now it doesn't go on forever, but the fact is there were 4 enemies covered in this oil, and then each of them exploded 4 times each, which is absolutely amazing and completely decimated them. And all it required was 1 Oil of Combustion. Astragorn here isn't a proper strength range, isn't a proper stranger. I would suggest if you're going to use something like a greatsword, you would pick Great Weapon Master instead of Sharpshooter. The same idea applies. It's got a slightly lower chance to hit, to be honest. We can hit everyone around us for that damage. Downside to Whirlwind Attack is that it is based upon where you are standing. So you're actually taking up some of this circle. Whereas the volley, you are free to put it wherever you want. I do want to point out with volley, it doesn't affect your allies. It's safe to cast over your allies. It's actually much more likely to affect more enemies with volley compared to Whirlwind Attack. You're not going to be able to get as many people within that range. And also, I would suggest that the radius of the volley circle is larger than that of the Whirlwind Attack. As always, the Elixir of Bloodlust is always going to be amazing. Give an extra action, an extra 2 volley shots coming off. Elixir of Viciousness is not that bad either. One thing Rangers can do, hide in plain sight. Gonna hide. Pretty good at that. So bring everyone together. And then while we are hidden, we're going to attack. Who's got the fewest hit points? I think this Gauntlet here actually is a magic user.
You were witnessed assaulting someone.
Ah, I didn't get them surprised. Anyway, let's just do this one more time.
Outrage.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will probably finish these guys off, apart from the Steel Watcher. Awesome stuff. And because we had the Elixir of Bloodlust, there we are. Perfect. Right. Let me know what you think of Hunter Rangers. What would be your favorite weapon combination to use for volley or whirlwind attack? I think there's lots of good choices here. Thank you to all the members of my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.